Hello, dudes and dudettes. It's Carson here with Glasshouse Films, doing another midnight review with my lovely and esteemed co-host and partner, Sarah. And we're watching a movie today.
You want to tell everyone what movie we're watching?
Alien Covenant.
Do.
Yay. Alright, so, a little bit of background. I'm actually a big fan of this franchise. 1 is great. 2 is a perfect film. I have problems with 3, but there's story problems. The way it's shot and executed, it's actually really good. 4 is just a bunch of French weirdness that's a blast. Alien vs. Predator is terrible. Alien vs. Predator 2 Requiem is impossible to actually see. And there's Prometheus. Everyone, when Prometheus was coming out, was like, yay, Ridley Scott's coming back to the franchise. And I was one of those people. I was like, yay, Ridley Scott. But for some reason, I had forgotten that Ridley Scott has these things where it's like, he'll direct a really good movie, and then 10 years will go by, and then he'll direct another good movie. And in between that is crap. At best, okay, but mostly crap. This was in that valley there that's crap. And since then, he's done The Martian, which was really good. So we're in for like another decade of crap.
Or maybe we'll get lucky and this movie will be good.
Yeah, I do hope. I hope so bad. I want to be proven wrong. I want to go in there and go, okay, that was actually really good.
See, I'm on the other end of the spectrum where I've only seen the first Alien movie.
And recently, too.
And that was a couple days ago.
Yeah. And
I was really surprised because I like sci-fi movies, but I didn't know if I was going to like this movie. And afterwards, I was like, no, that's really good. And then, Sigourney Weaver just, Lord, take me now. Yeah. But I was pretty good. So I'm hoping this one is good, but I honestly don't know a lot about the Alien franchise.
Yeah.
It's like, I know bits and pieces, have a generalized idea. So I'm hoping that this movie is good.
My biggest thing is that in Prometheus, they're like, we're going to explain where the xenomorph came from. And I'm like, all right, I don't think that's a good idea, but okay. And the reason why I don't think it was going to be a good idea is because if you try and explain that, you're just going to disappoint a lot of people unless you do a great job of it. And not only was the storytelling of it bungled, it wasn't an interesting story. And it's like, you are way complicating something that doesn't need to be this complicated. So I hope that instead of listening to the fans, the writers and director of this film just went, no, you know what? We're not going to keep going down that rabbit hole. We're not going to keep explaining it. We're just going to show an earlier instance of them having to deal with a bug. That's what we're gonna show. I do hope that it's a little bit more of a prototype because you've seen the trailer for this one, right?
Yeah, I've seen the trailer like once or twice.
So, but you know that they're chest bursters. But
yeah.
In this one, it looked like there was something up with that dude's back. So I'm like, okay. It would be cool if they did another proto like what we know is the xenomorph thing. I think that would be kind of cool to see.
Yeah.
Again, the other thing that bugs me, side note, CG xenomorph, that never works in my opinion. You have to have a dude in a suit.
And see, and that's how it was in Alien, and I loved it.
And Aliens, yeah.
So, and I know some people would prefer it with CG, but
like, the furthest I'm willing to go is the Guillermo del Toro route, where it's like, man in a suit, we're going to augment this with CG. Like, we're going to, obviously, you're not going to make the xenomorph blink, but, maybe the drool that it has, maybe that's CG, or, you maybe there's like a little crack where you can see arm. It's like, oh, we'll just patch that real quick. That's okay to me. It has to be mostly dude in a suit, but I don't know. The other thing is, this just looks like a pretty bog standard monster film.
But those can be good too.
Yeah, and the first Alien film was kind of a bog standard monster film. It was just transcendent. So I'm like, I want to have fun with this. I want it to be good. I just don't have a lot of hope for it.
I think I don't have high hopes, but I have pretty good hopes. But then again, I've only seen 2 Ridley Scott films, which is...
And both of them are 2 of his best.
Yeah. The Martian and then Alien. So...
Well, the funny thing with The Martian is it isn't even really built off of Ridley Scott's directing. It's all the writing.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's go see it. Yeehaw.
What happened here?
So we're back.
Yes, we are.
What'd you think?
Wasn't as bad as The Circle.
It's true.
What'd you think?
It wasn't as good as I was hoping it to be. There were a lot of things I had issues with. A lot of things I had issues with. Especially, I don't know, like you can have a really pretty movie and you can have some really nice shots, but it doesn't mean it's going to be a good movie. Kind of feel like that's how it was. There was a lot of the writing wasn't very good.
I'll do the fingering.
Oh my gosh.
That's an actual line in a blockbuster film, by the way. Actual line.
Everyone laughed because it's priceless.
Yeah. I got another John Denver story for you.
I also feel like there were just too many characters because they had probably 13 or so crew members.
One of the problems is that you had like four or five characters, and the rest were just meat bags.
Yeah, and when people were dying, I just didn't care. Versus in Alien, like when people died off, I actually cared, and I think part of that is it's a smaller crew, so it's easier to care more about people.
Well, the other thing is like Aliens is a massive crew. But even though I might not remember everybody's name, I remember everybody in Aliens.
See, and this movie, I'm like, well, I can't even I can kind of remember everyone, but that's only because we just saw it.
Yeah.
Like, if you ask me in a day
in
or
a
two,
week.
I'm probably gonna forget about a whole bunch of people.
I'm gonna remember Catherine Waterston, Damien Bashir, Danny McBride, and Michael Fassbenders.
Yeah.
That's
Fassbenders.
and Guy Pearce, but that's me. That's because I love Guy Pearce.
There's also a lot of scenes I would have taken out.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, man.
I would have cut out the first, 30 minutes of this movie.
Yeah, it just was, for me, it was just, built up way too slow. And I felt like I spent so much time being like, okay, when is the action going to come in? When are we going to see these xenomorphs? For me, when is there going to be gore?
What's weird is the Alien is also, it's not slow, but it's paced really well.
And I feel like this just wasn't paced.
Yeah, it's like, okay, we're going to have 20 minutes before we show you a 30?
I guess.
35 minutes before we show you a xenomorph.
But when they get to that point, it's so worth it. No, in Alien.
Oh. Yeah, what I'm talking about is...
Oh, I was saying...
Covenant.
Alien, it's so worth it when it finally gets to that point. And this movie, it wasn't for me.
Yeah, with Covenant, you have 35 minutes of just filler, it really feels like. And in Alien, it feels like, okay, we're going to build these characters. We're going to give you an idea of what this world is. And then it just, and then it goes, you're engaged because you know who these characters are, you know what the stakes are and everything. In this, it's part of the thing is the stakes are already so high because it's a colonization mission. So let me explain that a little bit. The setup of this film is kind of similar to the setup of Alien.
Okay.
In one way. So it's a colonization mission. They're going to the other side of the universe and they're starting up a new colony. They have a planet picked out, they're gonna go there. Well, with this one, that's what it is. It's not elegant. So with this one, everything they retract out these foils basically to recharge their batteries. And there's this blast that just randomly happens, tears this ship to shit. And then when And then after that happens, they're like, okay, James Franco dies in a pod pretty unceremoniously.
I was like, oh wait, that is James Franco.
Yeah, he has he has a set of lines.
Yeah, but it's not important.
Yeah, so they kill him, and then they're like, oh well, there's also this transmission. So it's like you have all of this like action buildup. And then it's like, oh, and there's this transmission. Whereas in Alien, it was so elegant that it was like, oh, we just got pinged. And it's in our company directive that we have to go save these people.
Yeah.
Or we have to go address this SOS. Whereas this, it's like, all of this stuff for really no reason. And then there's this added component of the SOS. So then they go down to the planet and they're looking for the SOS, basically. And it once they get to the planet, I feel like it moves a little bit faster and it starts moving right to. Like,
I will say it's super pretty there because they shot in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's always gorgeous.
Yeah. Brief PSA: do not go to. I don't even want to say what cinema we're at. Don't go to the cinema we went to. I'll privately message you. Don't go to if you ask, don't go to the same cinema we went to because the bulb was bad. The film was shot too dark, but it didn't help that we also didn't have
and that was another thing I had issue with. It was a little too dark.
Editing. See, that's the other thing is the editing with Alien is so precise. Like it feels like a fine-tuned machine.
Yeah.
And with this, it's just like jump cut.
And also with how some of the action is, when like the xenomorphs come into play, it's so fast.
Elegant. It's
hard also to figure out. At least for me, like it's hard to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, and then it was. So, okay, they get onto the planet, and don't worry, this is all first act stuff. We're not going to go too much further than this. But they get to the planet, and the one person steps on some stuff, another person steps on some. It looks like alien shit, really.
Or maybe eggs.
Yeah, it makes a little bit of sense if you've seen Prometheus. But
you don't have to have seen that.
Yeah, that's
I haven't
another
seen
thing.
Prometheus, and the movie makes sense.
Yeah.
As long as you've seen Alien.
I mean, Anyway, so they get some alien spores into them, and then out of two of the crew members, these things just come out. And the other thing is that they both come out in different ways.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, the creation of them is really weird.
I mean, I liked how they did it with those two characters.
Yeah.
Especially the first one. I liked it, and it was different, and it was new.
Yeah. And it definitely served a more animal... That's the thing, is like, it's a more animalistic way of the xenomorph coming out of someone. But because it's not... The xenomorph, the true xenomorph, the chest burster, comes out of someone's chest. That's how it goes. But it's also like base level intelligence. Yeah. These things are also base level intelligence, but they have more of an urge to get out.
Yeah.
But then the way the proto-xenomorphs is just what I'm going to call them. They're the albino xenomorphs, actually.
Yeah.
The way the albino xenomorphs work is no different than how the xenomorph works. So it's like, it's kind of inconsistent with that interplay and how they come out and then how they act once they're out. So that's something that's really weird. And then you get a second Michael Fassbender.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
I got a lot of weird thoughts about that.
I like that there's two of them. And they could have done some more interesting things there.
Yeah, but it went from, this is kind of cool to like, no, this is weird.
To let me do the fingering.
And weird stuff that we'll let you see on your own.
Yeah.
And it was weird.
Yeah, and the other thing is that they changed one of their accents. And as soon as you know that, you kind of figure out where it's going to go from there.
Yeah, and like, so that's also my thing.
But
like,
that's why you get a really shitty Michael Fassbender American accent.
Yeah.
But it's weird because I've seen Michael Fassbender do a good English or American accent.
Yeah.
Like, he was in Shame, and he was great in that. Perfect American accent. But in this one, it's like, I have to Christian Bale this one up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why?
Also,
anyway.
I don't know. Personally, for me, I saw that, like, I saw the ending from a mile away. It felt super predictable, and I was kind of disappointed.
Although, I will say, I didn't exactly see what his end game was.
Okay.
And I liked the ending. I liked the very end.
I did really like the end.
The very end when things drop out.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I really liked that. Apart from one shot where I was like, that looks like it's from Airplane. But apart from that, I really liked that part.
I did think the movie had, like, there were some things I liked. I liked some of the gore.
The problem was that a lot of it was shot too fast. Like, at one point I thought the albino xenomorph's tail, like, went into someone's, like, mouth and ripped out their jaw.
Yeah.
But then that was never really addressed afterwards. So I'm like, okay, maybe that didn't happen.
Yeah, and there was, like, a lot of shots that were, like, just happened way too fast.
Yeah.
And were a little too shaky.
Yeah. A lot of, like, that's weird because you watch Alien. Like, I rewatched it recently. Sarah saw it for the first time recently. But you watch that, and there's a lot of handy cam, but it isn't this bad.
Yeah, it felt a little too shaky for me.
Yeah. The music was, it's like, okay, you have the Alien theme, but Ridley, you forgot how to use it. They used it way too much, and then when they had the pretty traditional start of an Alien film where it's like Alien Covenant and it comes out in the spots and it's just like Alien Covenant, and I'm like, no, build this up a little bit. Like the original Alien, like, it built that up and it had the credits rolling at the same time, whereas you could have taken out that whole bit at the beginning of the movie.
I wasn't.
You could have taken out easily like 20-30 minutes of this film. But,
I mean, if you're a fan of the Alien series, you might actually enjoy it. There were some people around us, I could tell, they did, while they had issues with it, they did enjoy it, because I heard someone with the girl near us saying, like, it was one of the better ones that she's seen.
See, to me, it's just a pretty generic monster movie.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't even count it in the top 4 of the series. But, I mean, once you get through the top 4, then there's this one. This one's a pretty bog standard Alien film. Or not Alien film as in like the franchise, but just a bog standard monster movie. And it's wildly uneven, but generally speaking, better than Prometheus, because Prometheus was reaching for the stars and failed spectacularly. This one was like, oh, we're going to scale this back. We're going to explain like 3 things, or we're going to 2 or 3 things from Prometheus, and then that's going to be it. And we're done. That is under the rug. We're moving on.
Yeah.
And I liked that.
I mean, I'll probably watch it again so I can, like, figure some more things out and whatnot, but it was just okay.
Yeah, I don't think you need to see this in cinemas, to be honest. You could wait for this. You could wait to rent this.
Yeah.
It was just okay. I did kind of have a problem, and it's in the trailers, but it's a shower kill. I'm like, that's like...
I've never been one for shower kills anyway.
The film was like at a pretty good rate, and then it's like, that's so beneath you, Ridley. Like, that's so unnecessary. And it was just not that one in particular I wanted to call attention to, but
overall it was just okay.
Yeah, just okay. It's not a return to form for Ridley Scott. It's not, well, I mean, given what I said in the preview, I guess it is kind of a return to form because we're in that, like, that crater of, like, middling to crap movies. But,
not the worst movie that's come out this year, at least in my opinion.
I won't call it a worthy entry in the series either, but it's better than Prometheus and better than Alien vs. Predator 1 and 2. And that's about as much as I can say about it. I'm going to forget this film in a week.
Probably. Do you want to tell our lovely viewers what's coming next week?
Yeah. Pirates of the Caribbean 5. What's its subtitle? Like Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Tales? I don't know. Pirates 5.
I'm not a Pirates fan, but we're having 2 movie reviews next week. You and Savannah are doing Pirates, and I'm going to solo review Baywatch.
Can we trade places?
No, because I kind of like The Rock.
Damn it. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Appreciate it, y'all. Yep. YouTube.com/GlassFilmsHouse. Please like and subscribe this video. I really appreciate it. Follow me on Twitter @GlassHouseFilms and on Facebook, Facebook.com/GlassHouseFilms. And until next time, see ya.